For example, someone gave one of his servants 20 gold pieces, telling him to have a suit of clothes made out of a particular cloth. The servant went and got himself a fine suit out of the highest grade of the cloth and put it on. Then he saw that his employer had given another of his servants 1,000 gold pieces, and putting in the servant's pocket a piece of paper with some things written on it, had sent him to conclude some business. Now anyone with any sense would know that the capital was not for getting a suit of clothes. For since the first servant had bought a suit of the finest cloth with 20 gold pieces, the 1,000 gold pieces were certainly not to be spent on that. Since the second servant had not read the paper in his pocket, and looking at the first servant, had given all the money to a shopkeeper for a suit of clothes, and then received the very lowest grade of cloth, and a suit 50 times worse than his friend's, his employer was bound to reprimand him severely for his utter stupidity and punish him angrily. O my soul and friend, come to your senses. Do not spend the capital and potentialities of your life on the pleasures of the flesh, and this fleeting life like an animal, or even lower. Otherwise, although you are 50 times superior with regard to capital than the highest animal, you will fall 50 times lower than the lowest. O my heedless soul, if you want to understand to a degree both the aim of your life and its nature, and the form of your life, and the true meaning of your life, and its perfect happiness, then look. The summary of the aims of your life consists of 9 matters. The first is this: to weigh up on the scales of the senses, put in your being the bounties stored up in the treasuries of divine mercy, and to offer universal thanks. The second, to open with the keys of the faculties placed in your nature, the hidden treasuries of the sacred divine names. The third, to consciously display and make known through your life in the view of the creatures in this exhibition of the world the wondrous arts and subtle manifestations which the divine names have attached to you. The fourth, to proclaim your worship to the court of the Creator's dominicality, verbally and through the tongue of your disposition. The fifth, like on ceremonial occasions, a soldier wears all the decorations he has received from his king, and through appearing before him, displays the marks of his favour towards him. This is to consciously adorn yourself in the jewels of the subtle senses which the manifestations of the divine names have given you, and to appear in the observant view of the pre-eternal witness. The sixth, to consciously observe the salutations of living beings to their Creator, known as the manifestations of life, and their glorifications of their Maker, known as the signs of life, and their worship of the bestower of life, known as the aims of life, and by reflecting on them, to see them, and through testifying to them, display them. The seventh, through taking as units of measurement the small samples of attributes like the partial knowledge, power, and will given to your life. It is to know through those measures the absolute attributes and sacred qualities of the all-glorious Creator. For example, since through your partial power, knowledge, and will, you have made your house in well-ordered fashion, you should know that the Maker of the palace of the world is its disposer, and powerful, knowing, and wise to the degree it is greater than your house. The eighth, to understand the words concerning the Creator's unity and the Maker's dominicality uttered by each of the beings in the world in its particular tongue. The ninth, to understand through your impotence and weakness, your poverty and need, the degrees of the divine power and dominical riches, just as the pleasure and degrees and varieties of food are understood through the degrees of hunger and the sorts of need, so you should understand the degrees of the infinite divine power and riches through your infinite impotence and poverty. The aims of your life, then, briefly, are matters like these. Now consider the nature of your life. Its summary is this. It is an index of wonders pertaining to the divine names, a scale for measuring the divine attributes, a balance of the worlds within the universe, a list of the mighty world, a map of the cosmos, a summary of the vast book of the universe, a bunch of keys with which to open the hidden treasuries of divine power, and a most excellent pattern of the perfections scattered over beings and attached to time. The nature of your life consists of matters like these. Now the form of your life and the manner of its duty is this. Your life is an inscribed word, a wisdom displaying word, written by the pen of power. Seen and heard, it points to the divine names. The form of your life consists of matters like these. Now the true meaning of your life is this. It's acting as a mirror to the manifestation of divine oneness and the manifestation of the eternally besought one. That is to say, through a comprehensiveness, as though being the point of focus for all the divine names manifested in the world. It is its being a mirror to the single and eternally besought one. Now, as for the perfection of your life, it is to perceive the lights of the pre-eternal sun, which are depicted in the mirror of your life, and to love them. It is to display ardour for him as a conscious being. It is to pass beyond yourself with love for him. It is to establish the reflection of his light in the centre of your heart. It is due to this mystery that the Hadith Qudsi was uttered, which is expressed by the following lines, and will raise you to the highest of the high. The heavens and the earth contain me not. Yet how strange, I am contained in the hearts of believers. And so, my soul, since your life is turned towards such elevated aims and gathers together such priceless treasuries, is it at all worthy of reason and fairness that you should spend it on temporary gratification of the instinctual soul and fleeting worldly pleasures and waste it? If you do not want to fritter away your life, ponder over the oaths in this surah of the Quran, which allude to the above comparison and truths, and act accordingly.
والشمس وضحاها والقمر إذا تلاها والنهار إذا جلاها والليل إذا يغشاها والسماء وما بناها والأرض وما طحاها ونفس وما سواها فألهمها فجورها وتقواها قد أفلح من زكاها وقد خاب من دساها.
By the sun and its glorious splendour, by the moon as it follows it, by the day as it shows up the sun's glory, by the night as it conceals it, by the firmament and its wonderful structure, by the earth and its wide expanse, by the soul and the order and proportion given it, and its enlightenment to its wrong and its right. Truly he succeeds that purifies it, and he fails that corrupts it.
اللهم صل وسلم على شمس سماء الرسالة وقمر برج النبوة وعلى آله وأصحابه نجوم الهداية وارحمنا وارحم المؤمنين والمؤمنات آمين آمين آمين.
O Allah, grant blessings and peace to the sun of the skies of messengership, the moon of the constellation of prophethood, and to his family and companions, the stars of guidance, and grant mercy to us and to all believing men and all believing women. Amen, Amen, Amen.
سبحانك لا علم لنا إلا ما علمتنا إنك أنت العليم الحكيم.
Glory be unto you. We have no knowledge save that which you have taught us. Indeed, you are all-knowing, all-wise.